I started a little bit late. I'm sorry. On the 999 ASMR Tarot, Quiet Voices. These are the buttons that you need to push if you're watching this on the playback. Like and sub. And so what we're doing here is we're making a oracle deck, a crosswords oracle deck. I have one for myself that I made, but I've made two others here for some other people. And I am going to finish making this one and then the other one, and then try and attempt to make two tuck boxes. And I think I know how to do that, but we'll be figuring it out here along the way. So this one is 33 cards plus 2, so 35, and let's just do a count of that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 plus. I think I counted wrong. So we'll just make two more, and then so the size, apologize, I don't feel very good today. I'm on the downside of a migraine headache. I think I want to go, so it just depends on how we do this. You cut the card, and then whatever are the leftover words that becomes, since it already has, that becomes the field that you will be using for divination. Equal, run. Okay, so I think for this one, you cut it like this. Yeah. So you can make your own oracle cards and so forth. And this is a random word oracle, an oracle. And I'm using wait, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. I'm using losing scratch tickets. Losing. Is that where I want to cut it off at? Equal. Yeah, that's where I want to cut it off at. It's hard sometimes because you want all the words, but you really can't have, at this point in time, you can't have all the words. So I'm just using some of them, and they will become the words that you will use, or they will use in their readings. And so I'm going to run it from, they get grape and okay, I'll do it this way. I'm going to roll it clear up to this edge here. So there'll be some of those other words in there, but they will just sort of be cut off. I can move it just a little bit further over. And there, and then I'll run it right down. First, let's just run it down this edge, and then we'll just fine tune it from there. So in this, we'll also have some random letters and two. So when you are in that process of using your intuition to answer questions, you'll have letters and other things to go off of in order to guide you in trying to answer a question. Like that. And so we'll just kind of size it up. It's just about right. Maybe it's a little bit high on one side. I mean, it's not an exact science because I'm using a pair of scissors. So you're not getting, hello, Crazy Ender, welcome. I'm just making some cards, some word cards. You can also use these for like, you can use them for like word prompts for if you are a writer, you can use them to prompt yourself, and that works as well. And so we might try that when I'm done here. I don't know how creative I can be today because I'm just on the downside of a 3-day migraine headache. And I like this one. It has the word verb in it. That can just be usable. Statue, grow, verb. So we're going to cut this one clear onto this edge. I haven't really played scratch tickets in years, but I saved all of my losing tickets just so that just for maybe the possibility of making poems out of them, doing poetry with them. And I have done that poetry with them. Like, for instance, this is a random word poem that I did in last April using a losing scratch ticket. And so, yeah. Of course, you have to be like 18 or older to play scratch tickets. So what it is, I'm gonna have to do another count. They're a little bit sticky. I don't really like sticky cards. Dynasty, thrift, race, odd, game. I don't think I have the word game in that anywhere, so I'm going to do this last one here. We'll cut it down on this edge. I hope that you're well, Crazy Ender. I still haven't watched that movie. I told myself I was going to watch it, but I was watching Terminator 2 instead. Of course, I didn't watch the second half of it. I throughout the last couple days during the day, they've been doing changing the power poles down in my neighborhood. So all day throughout the day. Yeah, you do, because you can't turn them in if you are if you're under 18. Well, you can scratch a ticket at under 18, but you can't turn them in for money if you win. So you have somebody over 18 has to do that. Yeah, and you can't buy them when you're. It's like buying cigarettes. You have to be 18 to buy cigarettes. And granted, cigarettes are more they're more damaging to you than scratch tickets. But scratch tickets can be, you know, if you are a compulsive gambler, then you shouldn't be buying scratch tickets. But that's just, you know, if you have, because some people have self-control issues when it comes to lottery scratch tickets, but I have pretty good self-control. So I'm going to count these. This was, so it's 1, 2, let me just count them the other way. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I guess there's 36 in this pile. Oh, I actually haven't purchased a scratch ticket in since 2021, but I have a lot. When I was bartending. When I was bartending, I played. When I was bartending, and I was making $1,000 a week, I budgeted $100 a week for gambling. So this put it to you that way, and I did that. I had that $400 a month gambling habit for about 4 years, and that was both scratch tickets and slot machine play. But when I no longer had that job, then I wasn't spending that kind of money doing playing scratch tickets or lottery or playing those kinds of things. Okay, so anyways, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna number these things, and then that goes about making them into what they are to be used for, and with a very specific purposes. That sort of anchors them that there'll be a numbered thing. I think I have one more than I need. Did I say 36? I did say 36. So I guess that's what it's going to be. It's going to be that many. And let me just shuffle them up pretty good. And then we're going to start that process of I'm randomizing them, making them more random. And then we'll do that. And there's one extra in here that's kind of an oddball card. And I think I'll pull that one out. And no, I think we'll just leave it in the mix. There it is. It's that one. I'm going to put that one clear at the end. Yeah, so I didn't always spend that kind of money on gambling, but I had budgeted that amount, especially like in 2017 and 2018 and part of 2019. That was kind of more where I was at. In the rest of 2019, I wasn't like doing that kind of. I wasn't dropping that kind of change, playing slot machines or that or whatnot. But the first part of the pandemic, when I was getting that pandemic relief, I actually would buy about $100 worth of scratch tickets a month, and I would play like one or two a day, one a day or so, something like that, because it was just sort of, you live through that. It was something else. And so that's this one. Now the other one I did, and I think this one's supposed to be 27. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yes, that's the number for that one. Okay, all right, well, let's get going on this. I'm just going to write down, I'm going to start at this point. Let's cut the deck, and the first card is going to be 0, and that's what we're going to start it out. I'm not going to look at them, what they are. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33. And I think we're just going to pull this one out. And it's 33 because that's how many I was going to do. 33 plus one more. I'm going to put no number on it. All right. So let's just try them. Let's just try it as like a poem. Let's try it as a poem. And doing to see how they work. I want to... What do I need to know? Number 9, huh? What do I need to know? Ink. Icon, ink, sky, fragile. I feel very fragile today. That is true. But you know what? You can write your own future. That's something to remind yourself. You are writing your own future with your actions today. And the actions of yesterday wrote what you are today. Like the canary in the coal mine, whatever happens to it will happen to you too. That's what I read right here. The paint is still wet. Okay? So that's how you could use these if you were using it as an oracle. And I went on a show. I went on Hershey the Shadow Reader show a couple weeks ago, and I'm going on her show again, and I'll be using my own set of oracles to do divination for people. And so that's a way that you could use them. So I'm using random words, in which, in the sense, is that if you are open for a story, if you're open in your mind and your heart, and your mind and heart is in a good place, and you're open, then your intuition will latch upon these words in order to create a story in that moment. And that's how you can use this crossword oracle. And whereas, like a lot of oracle cards, they'll have a word and they'll have an image on it, and it works exactly the same. This is a little bit more randomized. It's more it's a lot more open, because there's a whole lot more different words, and all those words have a lot of different, there's different ways that you could go with it. So you kind of look at it this like reading tea leaves in a cup, or just something very random, more random. It's not, yeah, that's the best I can say about it. It's just a bit more random. So let's just go take another one. That's number 2. November. It's one click away in November. Take pride in your game, the game of bowl. Give yourself time to line up the ball down the lane. Give yourself a moment to be at peace and rest in that moment as you hold the ball in your hands. And maybe when you hold the ball in your hands this time, instead of sticking your fingers in the holes, you hold the ball like this. And then you bring it back, and then you huck it down the lane and put some spin on it. So the ball slides forward and it spins forward, and then you give yourself that time to aim, to put spin on it, and huck that ball down the lane to finish with a strike. So take pride in your ability to play the game. Be fast, be furious, be aggressive against your opponent, whoever that opponent may be. It may be your dad, it may be your mom, may be your sister, it may be your friend, it may be someone from school, or in whatever league you happen to be playing in. Someday I might play in a bowling lane, a bowling league. It's been a while since I've gone bowling, but bowling is a lot of fun. That's what I got out of this. Bowl with fast, and follow the same formula all the time. The same formula all the time when you hold on to that ball. And my experience with bowling is that if you stick your fingers in the holes, you will get more gutter balls every single time than you will if you Do not stick your fingers in the holes. And you, like I say, you hold that ball. Maybe you don't get a big giant one. Maybe you get like a one that's, not a super light one, but just the right weight. So it's got some weight, but it's not too light. And you hold that ball just like that. You hold it in both hands. And you huck it, and then you bring it back, and then you huck it down the lane, and then you just let go. You keep both hands onto that ball until you let it go. And that's how you can increase the number of strikes that you get. It takes a while. You got to be patient with yourself. You got to be patient with yourself. Patient with yourself while you work out the formula. But that's going to be in November when you go bowling, and you're going to have a blast because nevertheless, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You're going to have a lot of fun when you go bowling. So anyway, that is that. I was just having in a moment. How did those words strike me? Let's just try it again. Then we're going to go try to make that box. I've never made a box before, but let's do another shuffle. We're going to knock it 3 times to clear out the energy. And we're just going to be just completely open for what it has to say. Let's just be completely open. Okay, a lot of things came out. So what number should it be? So Crazy Ender, if you're still there, I want you to pick the card that I'm going to do the reading from. Is it going to be 8, 17, or 16? Which one should I choose? Just throw a number out there. Which one? You're choosing the number. 8, 17, or 16? 8, 17, or 16? Eight. Okay. All right. I'm going to choose 8. Reason. Unable. The reason you didn't have that pizza was because you wanted to go to the disco dance with your love interest. And you didn't want to get pizza sauce all over the front of your shirt, so you decided not to eat that pizza even though it was your favorite pizza. But at the disco, you didn't hibernate into yourself. You didn't do the usual things. You didn't hibernate into yourself, but instead, you let go of your words like they were an ocean. You let go of your words inside of you like they were an ocean of love gushing forth from within you. This wellspring, this sea of love for this interest, this person you're interested in, while you danced songs at the disco. They don't have to be disco songs. Maybe some of them were, but it was a dance club nevertheless. Oldies, newies. And you were that night rushing in, getting beverages, making your love interest feel comfortable with you in that moment. You showed off your best self with the hopes that they would reciprocate your love for them. Because deep back down in your head, deep down in your mind, deep down where your self-esteem talks lies into your ears, that self-esteem that is not a positive self-esteem, but that negative self-esteem, which was afraid that this love interest would kick you to the curb if you had a stain of pizza on the front of your shirt. But that was an unreasonable thought to think, because that is something that can happen to anybody. But if a love interest is going to reject you for that, then that person is not for you. Well, there we go. That was number 8. So let's just go and try to make that tuck box. We'll see how we can do that. I measured this stuff out, and I used my paper cutter a little bit earlier because it had some specific size. So the size of this is 2 3/4 times 2, and then you have the size of it, which is approximately 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So it's got to be. So if we look at a box, so on that side we're looking at. It's actually almost the same size as this, but this is just a little bit wider. So 2 faces, 2 3/4, and then you have the thickness of the cards. In this case, it's like 1/2 inch. So the 2 sides. 0. Welcome. I'm trying to make a box today. I'm doing good, I think. And so I gotta see if this is the right one. So I think I measured it off that it needed to be like 7.5 inches. Where did my blanks go to? I was starting to do that. All right. You know, everything is a mess here today. I'm recovering from a migraine headache, and so I'm not in the best place that I could possibly be. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to try and do this. I hope all is well with you, Azuru, and thank you for showing up. You know, if you can't make it, you can't make it. That's, I wanted to say, you don't have to come yet to every one of my lives, but if you can, that's fine. And that's why I have 3 moderators so far. Okay, so what we're looking at is we are going to make it, we have the sides, making a box like this, 2, 3, 4 sides, but so that is almost, no, that's not, but so this is almost what? I'm going to say it's essentially, it's 1, 2, 3, it's 3/8 of an inch, but I don't think I want to pack it in so close, so I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch. And so then we're just going to measure it out. I'm going to go out. I need a pencil. Where did I put my pencil at? I feel like I'm so disorganized. I had a pencil. I know I have a pen. I don't want to use a pen on it. I want to use a pencil. Jesus, Bill. Oh. Okay, I got another pencil. I know I didn't put it away. Well, there it is. I don't know how it got clear over there. I really got to clean up this space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this down on the bottom edge. That's about a 1/2 inch. And a 1/2 inch up here. I can't really see. And 1/2 inch over here. I can't see anything with this camera, is right in the way. You know, oh, you start to feel nauseous, yeah. Yeah, you know, I sometimes get nauseous when I have migraines. My migraine today wasn't that bad that I was nauseated, but I felt miserable for 2 nights. I finally decided that I wanted to take my prescription meds. I was gonna just see if I could tough it out, because generally they last like 72 hours. So why are you feeling nauseated? Are you getting the stomach flu that's going around for the whole country? Okay. I put a link on my community page to a video, a channel that I like to watch when I'm not, for just relaxing, and it's this channel called Gravity Throttle Racing, and it's not related. It's some guy who races Matchbox cars, and it's just a great show. I mean, a really great channel. Of course, he doesn't know who I am. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna be on Friday at 9 p.m. And I'll put the Friday at 9 p.m. and I'm gonna do something. I might just do something totally much more random. I have these Legos, and I haven't actually opened up that box of Legos since I was a child. But grandkids and other people and nieces and nephews and other folks have used them through the years, but I haven't, and I really don't, because I don't really play with toys or anything. I do, because these cards and all that stuff is like toys and games and so forth. But I think I might do the Legos this Friday night, just for something totally random and something totally different. 9 p.m. And yeah, and I understand that, because I've had no electricity for parts of 2 days this week, and hopefully tomorrow won't be another day, because they've been changing the power poles out in my neighborhood. And anyways, I'll see you the next time, Mizzou. Please be safe and stay away from the stomach flu, and have a wonderful week at school. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Okay, so let's see where we're at. So we're gonna do. We have. Yeah, that stomach flu, it's going around, and I'm surprised that I didn't really get sick for going to those 2 super spreader events this week or last week. Now my mom hasn't been felt very good. I get, like I say, I get the migraines, but who knows why I get. Well, actually, I know, because I inherited that from my family, and the grandmother who is psychic is the one that I inherited from. Not grandmother, my great grandmother. I said it was 2 3/4 inches. Yeah, my psychic great grandmother is the person I inherited the. I'm gonna run at 2 3/4. Is the person that I inherited the migraines from. So we're going from here. I'm going to show you that. We're just going to measure it all out here to 2 3/4 inches. I need a T-square. Two and 3/4. I'm going to stand up to do this. I can't see with this camera that's right in the way. How many times have I going to say that? So we got 2 3/4. That's right there. And then I'm just going to come down, draw. I wish I would have never bought those things. They're just in the way. I don't really. I'm on the new age. I'm a new agey person, but I'm not into crystals and those kinds of things. It's not a. I don't really understand crystals. Largely, it's probably that also my science background too makes it. It was a 1/2 inch, yeah. So 1/2 inch. That science background also makes it so. Makes me really skeptical about a lot of things. But you know, there are times in this journey that has shown me that there is something out there in the world that there is something out there that has no explanation to the woo-woo. The woo-woo, I believe, does exist. I don't think you can quantify it. Okay. And then we go, this looks like it's off base already, so 2 3/4. Do I have a T-square thing? Not here. So we're just going to have to do everything rough shot here. 2 3/4. I do not have enough space here. It would be nice if I had a proper set. I'm just full of complaints today, aren't I? 2 3/4. So it's going to be a little bit long, but that's fine. All right. So then we're going to center. We're going to center these things on here. So we got the front and the back, and we have a left side and a right side, and then the tuck again. And so just kind of probably put this on here. So that is this length over here. We just have to center it on here. 4 inches, so it's about roughly 4 inches. So we want to make the, maybe we'll make the box size like 4 1/4. And so what are we looking at here? This is 6 1/2. So if I go like 1 1/2 inches in on both sides, will that be approximately give me 4? Let's go 1 1/2 on the bottom side over here, and then we will measure up from there. Maybe a little less. 1 1/4. That's right here. That's like 2 1/4. That's not 1 1/4. I'm not even right here. Let's just take this. This is a gummy eraser that you use for charcoal pencils. Let's go 1 1/4 and come down onto the other side and do stuff is just in my way. 1 1/4. Everything's in my way. Right here. Okay. So if I go across, hopefully it squares it up. Should be square, right? Oh, but it's not. From the way I cut it in the paper cutter, it looks like it's different, doesn't it? Look, it's like it slopes here. 1 1/4. How come I can't be the engineer that my dad was? 1 1/4. That's why. You know what? This isn't rocket science, right? This is not rocket science. Okay. So then we're going to go up 4 inches from there. And that becomes what the tuck is. So I think that this needs to come back an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, I think that will come back, because I think that needs to just go up 1 inch and 1 inch. All right. Did I mention this is the first time I've ever tried this before? Okay. All right. Now that's from that one. From here, we'll go up 4 inches. 4 inches from there. Four inches from there. And so no, that's not right. It is from the other number, because I need to have, there's a tuck on the top and the tuck on the bottom, and so you can't use the same tuck on the top and the bottom. So, okay, all right. We are reversing myself here, and I'm doing the 4 inches from this other line here. From that line to over here, 4 inches. Okay, what you got today is the most boring show in the world. Great for sleep. All right, now let's see if this is even right here. Is it just me, or do I feel like this ain't gonna work at all? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. This is how you figure things out, is by doing them, right? Without doing them, you have no idea if it's going to work. Okay, so let's just we have another shot at this. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care, right? It just doesn't matter. 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 That's the mantra for the night. It just doesn't matter. 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 So we'll have a tuck on the top and a tuck on the bottom. And so it just doesn't matter. So let's just cut. Okay. I'm going to cut. What was the line we were thinking of? It was, this is the top flap. Top tuck flap. Bottom flap. And we're looking at left, right, and then left again. Left, right, left again. Okay. And so roughly we're looking at like, maybe it's like this and like this over here. Kind of roughly that way. And then down here, it's maybe like this, and then on the bottom, maybe it'll tuck in there, or maybe it'll just glue in there. And then this is empty, and this is empty. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Shall we do a little Hail Mary? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now until the ends of our journeys. Full throttle. Was that not full? No, it's Gravity Throttle Racing. Gravity Throttle Racing. Check that channel out. If you like someone being all serious about racing Matchbox cars, I think you'll find that show amusing. The announcers sound like mattress salesmen, or like yeah, that's what I was thinking, like chair salesmen or insurance sale. I don't know. They seem like TV, or like the announcers are just wonderful. I mean, I watched that show. I've been following that channel for a few years. Because someone asked me the other day about what kinds of stuff I watch on YouTube, and I like racing, and wait, we're going all the way to this one here, racing game. I mean, yeah, it is really interesting. Gravity Throttle Racing. And the guy who announces it just cracks me up. He's made the model set like, it's like almost like, a model train set, but with Hot Wheel tracks and stuff like that instead. And so this one is going to be cut out altogether. And this one over here is going to get cut out altogether. Okay. And so what I'm using is a mixed media paper here. It's like perfect for like drawing or sketch work. Or I wish I had a razor blade, because this is how I would probably... Oh, wait, I could just use my pocket knife. for getting a straight cut rather than scissors. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Gravity throttle racing. Then there's something else that's also interesting is gravity kart racing, which comes out of Ecuador. And that is actually really fascinating. So with gravity kart racing, these guys are on these go-karts. They're two-person go-karts, and they're in Ecuador is got these tall mountains in there, so they go up to the top of these mountains on these roads, and then they do this downhill racing. There's no motors on them. I mean, there's barely any brakes on these carts, and they block off the roads, and they just go downhill, and they're going like, sometimes they're going like 100 kilometers per hour, or like 45 miles per hour, just hurtling down down the roads. And then they're not the best of roads because it's Ecuador, so sometimes they're close to like gravel or something like that, and then occasionally they have to get out and push their carts, and those are really, really exciting races too. I mean, if you don't have like the investment to like invest time in like watching the, like the Tour de France, but there's a lot of sports out there that is not the common American sports, and that's what's kind of neat is watching sports that other people in other countries engage in. Okay, I think this might work. What do you think? Do you think this is going to work? So this is going to be needing to be, so I'm going to have to trim these accordingly. Oh, goodness sakes, man. Outside of anti-nausea, there's also like, do you have any like 7-Up? 7-Up? 7-Up can sometimes do it. Man, I really feel for you, but it's like, gosh. It's because once you start vomiting, it's really hard to quit until the poison is out of your system. Because if you are getting like that stomach flu, then you might just not eat anything at all. I mean, really, seriously. And then make sure you don't go to school tomorrow either. Or if you're going to work, don't go to work tomorrow. If you're I can't remember how old you were, but if you were working someplace, you might just consider calling out to your job right now for tomorrow. Just tell me that you're sick, you're nauseated, and so it's most, and you're worried that you have the stomach flu, and so you don't really want to spread that around to people. Because if you're a food service worker, it's actually kind of against the law to go to work sick with the stomach flu, and I've done it before, but it's so I got these flaps like this. Okay. And oh yeah, I gotta do this one. Ginger ale, 7-Up. It can do it sometimes. That pink stuff, Pepto. Maybe that can work too. But I don't know. That unfortunately, that stomach flu is that one that is just miserable for that 36 hours or however long, 24 hours that it goes on for. And it's not a good sick either. It's not like, I mean, granted, COVID was no cakewalk either, but COVID was terrible. That was the worst. I don't know how many times I've had the COVID since I've had it, but I've had it. I think I've had it 3 other times before I tested negative for it. Okay, look, there it is. The box is kind of cool. Looks like yeah, maybe this will work. What do you think? It's starting to take shape, look like a box. Okay, so it's a little bit long. I guess we'll just kind of cut it a bit and so I get like one successful thing going on for today. Okay, it's not exactly, not fully right, but so that'll look at that. Look at that. It looks like it works. So then I think I want to decorate this box somewhat before I send it out with the maybe on the glue it here, but we don't need these extra flaps on this side. Well, hello, Mr. Oakley Bean. Welcome. Welcome. I made some cards, some crossword oracle cards. Now I'm making a box to put them into because I am going to send them to I'm going to send them away to someplace. And so I was just seeing if I could make a tuck box. And then I want to, maybe I will decorate the box. So yeah. I think, should I cut the inside ones or the outside ones? I wonder what the directions say. I kind of did look at some directions, but so Mr. Oakley Bean, do you know what somebody could do to settle nausea if they are coming down with the stomach flu or they got food poisoning or something like that? What would you do what do you do when you're sick like that? What do you have a formula for that? Other than like 7-Up or Pepto-Bismol or ginger tea maybe? Okay, it said to cut off the far right one, the one that's got on that far left one, to cut that one off. Okay. Maybe we'll just cut it a little bit like this and a little bit like that. And it glues in there like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then it folds down. Probably doesn't need to be that tall on the flap, but it could be. Yeah, it probably will be. But do you get this often? I mean, if you're having a migraine, I mean, if you're having migraines, that people you get it for the migraines. Okay, let's just see if they fit in here. Did I make it the right size? Not often, so yeah. Well, you know what? It fits in there, so it's a go. It works. Oh, sometimes it comes on. Hopefully, it's not me that caused it. So, what do we got going on here? Do I have my glue? Maybe these tuck flaps don't need to be so big. Uh-oh, folded a bit here. What do you know? It works. So, we want to fold it up at that 1/2 inch mark. Get it to tuck in place. Okay, so 1/2 inch up. We're just going to do a little fold there, that 1/2 inch up mark. I think that's a 1/2 inch, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to roll that over like that. And you'd think that they got machines that do this very action here. I'm doing the work of a machine. Of course, with machines, they just sort of program it into the formula. Use the formula, and then kind of goes in there. Okay, all right. Well, lucky for me, I got some glue right here. Gonna use some of this old Elmo's glue. Put it on the both sides. Make sure it gets stick. All right. I'm just gonna let this stick here for a bit and see if it will hold. Did you see any good movies over the weekend? Oh, I think I need a paper clip or something to clip this in place. Well, I know this is really boring, so I'm probably going to go use those cards again to see how they work. Can I just make sure that this sticks like that? Get it to stick. I want to see that movie Good Will Hunting again, but it's not on the free list. I'm going to finish watching Terminator 2 tonight. So anyway, let's just use these cards again. And we'll just test them out. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, knock out the last story, and we're going to go for the new story. We want a story. Need a story here. Tell a story. Right there. That's the story. Right there. This is number 7. So, it was odd. Eerie. I went outside. You know that calm that exists right before a storm? Well, that's what it felt like. It was this odd, eerie. I held a hose in my hand, the nozzle pointed towards a tree. The tree was dried and brown, but a squirrel had taken up residence in it. A squirrel was eating off all the blossoms. The squirrel was neutering this tree. And there was this aroma in the air. This aroma of... It was difficult to place it. It smelled like burning paper from a faraway paper mill, or was it fields? Were the fields on fire? Sort of this smell, that unforgettable smell of paper mill. That's what it smelled like. It was a race to see who could get there first. Down at the ranch, the contestants in the race were neck and neck. You couldn't fit a razor between them. When they crossed the finish line, the finish was so close, they called it a tie. But the guy who bet on the black one to win got in a rage. He bet all of his week's pay on that horse. But it didn't win. It tied for first place. Okay, that didn't quite make sense, but you know what? It was like 2 little stories in one. Let's try another one. So they shuffle well. You can shuffle these cards. Sometimes when you get tarot cards, they're really thin. They feel like they're going to tear. And these are very durable cards. They have a durable, they're durable. Granted, now they're not reversible. But I suppose if you were a that kind of reader, you could make them reversible. I put numbers on them too because then if you are a student of numerology, you can use those numbers as well as a means to divine a story in that moment. To divine a story in that moment. So we're just going to do one more. Maybe this story will be better than the last one. And so we're going to knock out the other story. 1, 2, 3. Knock out the other story. And there's our card, number 14. It jumped right out. This one jumped right out, number 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 means change. 1 is the beginning of a new thing, and 4 comes in that place of stability, of celebration, that you're almost there. You're almost there. A stable place, a stable 4 corners. 4 corners is more stable than 3. 14. I can. I think I will do them. I can probably do them every Tuesday night, or do something like that on Tuesday nights. There's a good touchdown. Oregon, the Oregon Ducks played with the Ohio, was it? The Clippers? I didn't watch the game, but it was playing in my house. I have an Oregon Ducks jacket. I have an Oregon Ducks jacket that I wear because it's bright yellow. And so when I used to walk on the highway and places like that, you show up really bright. I'm not really a football fan. I do know about football, but nevertheless, they won by 1 point. So I don't think it was a touchdown because it was neck and neck the whole way through the game. And so I think that they were winning by those extra points things, doing the field goal things. I think that was how it was going through most. I think it was really close, like 27 to something. It was just a really close game. That was the game that over the weekend. Mom didn't really watch sports when she was younger, but her mom watched sports in the last 10 years of her life, or even longer. A yacht. Step into the yacht. Step into the yacht and say, I have arrived in the lap of luxury. Step into the yacht and say, I have arrived in the lap of luxury. At this age, it's a great age to step into a yacht. The sail blowing in the wind, the sail flapping in the wind, and you're just ready to go race out into the bay. One small step for the yacht, one giant step for your pleasure of sailing on the sea, taking a day to smell the roses, taking a day to be at peace with yourself and the sea. Because it is very important to do that every day or every week, or just to take a moment every day to be at peace with the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, the ground, the world that gave birth to us. It is important to connect to the world that gave birth to us. We are children of the earth. Everything came from the ground. through chemical processes, through magic of some kind. And we are here. We are here because of this earth. So you need to take a time every day to touch that which you came from. And experience that peace, the quiet that exists in the natural world, especially under trees. And when you are in that space, you can just be. Just be who you are. Just be and not worry about what is to come and what has come. Because really, the only time that is important is that moment. That moment when you are one with this earth that gave birth to you. So be patient in your day. There's so many things that we can rage the day away with. But most of those things are not important. The things that we get mad about, they really are not important. What is important is how we treat one another, how we love and how we serve one another. That is the thing that is the most important thing that you can do in any given moment of your life. It's very difficult. And none of us who are walking around are particularly good at doing that all the time. That takes a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to commit yourself to that experience. I can't really tell you what that experience is. It's only you can figure out what that experience is. And it is a seesaw. This experience of our lives, we teeter-totter between just wanting to do the right thing and doing the wrong thing. And we all of us do the wrong thing often. And all of us will do the right thing often. And we are, trying to do the right thing more often is difficult. But it's a challenge, and it's something that you commit yourself to, because sometimes when you slip into doing the wrong thing, that you end up feeling bad about yourself, and you go into these you spin out into a sort of a madness within yourself, and and it's a madness of illusion. I don't really know what to say it is, but it's like either whether it be a rage or it's something. It's something that of indulging the lies that you tell yourself within, and it's sometimes it's easier to believe those lies, and those lies oftentimes will spin us into the darkness, and it will spin us into a realm of depression. And it's easy to lash out and to blame others for why we are in this state. But ultimately we are responsible for ourselves. And we can change. We can change ourselves. We can become new creations. And see, that's also like the promises of the Jesus story. And I'm really a very new age and esoteric person, but there is that that notion of forgiveness and that comfort of knowing that you can forgive yourself and you can move on to a brand new day. And anyways, I'm going to step off my... Do I have my soapbox card here? I don't. I'm going to step off my little soapbox, and then we're going to do Random Fridays around 9 p.m. on Friday night, and I'm going to do something. I'll make up my mind like an hour before I turn the camera on. It'll probably be that box of Legos. Maybe I could find my chessboard, but that would be wanting to bring a guest on sometime and play chess or something like that. I could do that. Bring a guest on. And you would have a chessboard, and I would have a chessboard, and I would move for you, and then you would move for me, and then so we'd have the control board, and we could do a game night some night. If that's something that would be interesting, I'll do a community post on that, on the idea of doing a game night some Friday night, where we play chess or we play checkers. But why don't we just play checkers? Checkers might be the better thing. And maybe what I'll do is we'll craft a checkerboard. I do have a checkerboard. But I'll craft a checkerboard that exists in this space here, which is 12 by 6, a 6-inch square place, and we'll craft that checkerboard or whatever it is, and then I'll bring a guest on. Maybe it would be you, Crazy Ender. You don't have to show your face. You can just point. But then if you don't have like a setup, like a camera setup that's any good, or what I mean by that, any good, where you can tripod mount your cell phone, then it's probably not going to work very well. But if you do have a tripod mount for a cell phone, then you can point your cell phone down onto the table where you have your game board down, and we can play a game. Anyway, that's all I got for today. This was... Hey, I think it's starting to glue together a bit. Yeah, I think it's doing that. Okay, let's just see how it closes up. And that was the bottom, this was the top. Yeah. So let's just see if this stuff fits in here. Oh, it's that one. So it's just like some of those other tuck boxes. It's the reason I don't really like tuck boxes right here. And I think I need a different design, so it's not enough flap space. All right. I hope that you aren't getting the stomach flu, Crazy Ender. And I really appreciate that you were here with me tonight. But look, see? It fit in the box. I do think I'll make another box, though. I think when I actually send send it on to who the owner of this, I may make a different box altogether. And so there we go. Well, you guys have a great night. I've been on here for an hour and a half, and like I said at the beginning of this, I am recovering from a migraine headache, and so it's not like the best night for me, but I had a good time. And so if you're just joining, there are a couple buttons here sub and like and sub. I'm still trying to reach 1,000 subs on this channel. I'm trying to get better too at doing videos. My long play videos, I'm still working on that. I don't have enough data from the analytics to know if my videos are actually any good or not. I haven't, and so I think I feel like I just need more data, and they feel like they're boring, but I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I know there's some of them, the ones that I like that mini tarot one. That one I really like. I like the one with the crystal ball. I like that one. I have a bunch of flip through ones. I actually like the one where I ran the whole thing backwards. But I think it's still, that one's too long. Maybe that one is boring. So I got to get better at that. I'm cutting together a new one to release this week, and I'm making it really short. So yeah, I think that they just need to be shorter. I think those super long experiential things that maybe I'm not very good at those. So there you go. You hear this content creator talking honestly about himself, about these things. You have a lot of room for improvement. You know, we're all just trying to get better. Just trying to get better at what you're doing. But it's really kind of hard sometimes when you don't have a lot of data. But I don't really, I could be asking more people to go look at that, but I just haven't been. And I'm not looking for to be completely slammed with criticism. I would only be looking at what could I do, what do I need to do to make them more interesting. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say good night, and you guys have a great rest of your school or work week or whatever you got going on. And I'm just an ordinary person. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get ready to do the next thing. I'm going to probably do a pop-up tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do with the pop-up because there are people that live in Europe that would like to see some of my lives, and so I'm going to try to get, providing they're not working on the power lines again tomorrow like they were today. And so if I have electricity, I'll do a pop-up around 1 o'clock my time. Anyways, good night, and thank you very much for being here. Bye-bye.